the Shadmeister riding easy in the anchorage at Nuka Hiva. As the weeks go by, I get used to the routine. Another boat bringing tourists in from a big liner out at sea, and one of the locals with his canoe riding the surf. Then it was back to work again on the engine to fix the water leak. Couldn't find hose to fit, but one of the other cruisers gave me a couple of pipes to have a look at. This is the original hose that's split, and it has to fit onto this doohickey. The new hose I couldn't quite get on. It had a metal surround to it for strengthening, and I couldn't stretch it over the copper piping, so the only way to do it was to remove all the metal. Once I'd done that, it was time to repair the Tomohatsu outboard once again. The starting rope had broken, had to install a new one. I think it's about the fourth time I've done this same job on this machine. I actually lost my temper and hit the engine with the oar. Oops. Then it was time to do a fuel run. Johanna from the boat Iris came with her dinghy and took us to the fuel dock. You may remember in the last episode I swam with manta rays, so I thought I'd come to this little hut to pay homage to one of my favorite creatures. Needed to do some internet work, so I went down to yacht services. Unfortunately, my furry friend wasn't allowed in. No, you stay there. Nuka Hiva Yacht Services is the go-to place for services, internet and information for the cruisers. It's run by Kevin and his wife Annabella, who does these wonderful hand-painted cloths. I was beginning to feel like a local. I'd been here so long. I even got myself a dog. This stray mutt became mine while I was on the island. Isn't she adorable? At last, after weeks of roly-poliness, the weather seems to have settled down. We've had lots of rain, lots of swell. And the boat's sitting pretty at the moment. But what isn't pretty is the mess on the deck. I'm almost ready for leaving here, but Operation Dinghy is underway at the moment. Last night came back to the dinghy and that transom was hanging off and that engine was almost in the water. Baby Shaddy's last ride. The only thing holding that transom on the boat at the moment is the harness, which is taking the weight of the transom and the engine. But I'm now going to get that engine off there and put it on there. The thing is, Baby Shaddy is a larger boat than Tiny Shaddy, hence the names, and I still need her. But I'm certainly not going to risk the engine on the back of her. I need to fill some more of these water canisters up. What I'm going to do is put them in Baby Shaddy and use her as a trailer and tow her behind Tiny Shaddy. Okay, done. It's always a little bit hairy when you're doing that. The last thing I want to do is have the engine drop in the sea, but you can, if I can do this one-handed, you can see them. That is just completely gone. That whole transom there has come loose from the tube there and on the other side. As I said, it's only the rope that's holding it. Yeah, that is, and the weight of the engine was just going to have the whole thing off the back. Just got Tiny Shaddy all rigged up and roped up on the side of the boat there, and this huge squall came through. It's now raining, but she turned on her side. Oh my goodness me. So I thought it was going to be a nice day today, but no, this is very unusual. Apparently people in the know here are telling me that this weather is not the norm. It's supposed to be the end of the rainy season, but it sure is raining a lot. Beautiful catamaran, if you like that sort of thing behind me, very modern. Funny old day today, lots of rain, lots of squalls. It's settled down now. I'm on deck, about to say goodbye to my friends on their boat Hdr-as. One thing they've done which I still need to do is to clean my anchor chain. It's been down there an awful long time and it's covered with some nasties. I've been scrubbing the hull again for the last couple of days. I thought you were never going to leave.
We'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, I'll be following you.
See you in Volcano.
Well, you take care, have yourselves a great trip. Not much wind, I've got to say. It'd be interesting to see what's actually out there. You can't tell from inside here. This is actually a volcano. We're sitting inside a volcano here. To illustrate the point, I'm going to do something which is professional suicide for videographers, and that's a long panning sweep, sort of thing you see people do on their holiday cameras. But to see it properly, you just got to look around it. If you can imagine now that you're standing in a volcano's caldera, that's the big crater, and it's flooded, which this is what it is. It's a flooded volcano, and you're looking around and it's a complete circle. As you turn, that's what we're looking at now. And what it has is a small entrance at one side of it, which the boats can come in and out of. As far as anchorages go, I have to say this is probably the most awesome anchorage on the entire planet. Hey guys, I anchored my boat in a volcano. Such a beautiful morning this morning. Up on deck with my coffee, enjoying the view. Apart from fresh fruit, the boat's pretty much stocked up and ready to go. My friends have all left, the last of them just the other day, but looking down the way there's the doldrums. We've got part of it here now. For the next few days there's no wind to the passage down to the Tuamotus, which is a good 500 miles or more. And then when I get down there, there's some storms coming up from the south and people down there are hunkering down. I've spoke to Easy Mike, and he's going to hunker down over the next few days because we've got bad weather. So that's all telling me, don't go anywhere, young man. So I'm going to stay here for another few days, maybe even a week, which I'm a bit annoyed about because it's so hard to get out of here. The boat's almost ready. Final clean round, final stock up of fresh fuel. I've got water, fuel. The huge list that I had done to do to repair everything after that awful Pacific trip has been done. And I'm ready. I'm physically, mentally ready to go, and I can't. So there we go. Right, well, that's the update done. Now I can take off my nice clean t-shirt and my nice clean hat and get oily and dirty and greasy. It's going to be hot again today, I can tell. I'm just going to be one big filthy ball of grease all day long, let me tell you. With the extra time I've got while I'm waiting for the weather so I can leave, resorting some stuff. Got a big box in there. In my cabin there's a keyboard, there's a camera bag,
and some cable. What's that doing on my bunk? This is just some of the stuff I got the other day. It's not exactly clear water, but I'm told it's completely drinkable, so I've got to take that on advisement. Oh dear.
After giving nearly 4 years of good service, it was time to say goodbye to an old friend. End of the road with baby Shaddy. Well, at least with me. There was another cruiser in town who'd had some problems and he hadn't got a dinghy anymore and needed one, so I donated my old friend to a new life.
Your new boat, sir. You ordered one, I believe.
Yeah, it's a sunny, windy day. Sunny, windy day. Yeah. And I'm working real hard. It's all hands on deck, trying to get the boat ready for leaving tomorrow to go down west to the Tuamotus and all the wonderful things that are happening down there. My friends, food, diving and sharks and all kinds of stuff. And I should have left ages ago. I'm still here. Just had a boat in front of me. They're just over here now. They were dragging their anchor onto me. So I went over very politely and the guy was very nice and they moved the boat to almost where they were before.
While on land, my two furry friends used to follow me everywhere. They were gorgeous and great company, but sometimes they'd just be a pest. They'd wait outside the supermarket for me.
One dog, two dogs. What do you guys want?
The golden one there is called Scruffy because she was always very scruffy and had a propensity to get run over a lot because she kept chasing cars. The other one I never gave a name to, but they were both favourites of all the cruisers that came ashore, and we used to take turns in feeding them. You had to, you couldn't just watch these guys suffer. They were pretty well fed, but I don't know what happens when I leave the island, what will happen next to them. But hey, that's life, unfortunately.
Yes, who's a pregnant girl then? Yes, who likes to have a tummy rub?
I'm just scratching my back.
Silly dog, silly dog.
The weather continued to be a problem, but I had to come ashore to get some supplies. There were a lot of things I needed for the boat before I left.
There was no room inside the truck. We've done a load of shopping, me and the guys.
And I'm told to keep down in case there's any gendarmes, because I'm not supposed to be in the back of this truck. It's years since I've done this. Hiding from the cops in the back of a truck, man. I lead a dangerous life.
It was the only way to get home. Hanging out with some onions.
Two boats just came together. That catamaran just dragged onto the boat there, the red boat. People not anchoring properly. A little bit of wind comes up and they start dragging. I've seen it several times this week.
And on another note, I finally found out how to save and preserve peppers by drying them out. Put them in a black pan with a glass lid on and leave in the sun. And another job that had to get done was something I've been putting off for a long time. The problem when you anchor for so long in the same place is your anchor chain gets fouled up. And when you eventually leave, pull up your anchor, it all ends up in the boat. So a good idea a few days before you leave is to pull a bit of anchor up, clean it off, and then dive in and clean the rest. But that turns out to have been not my biggest problem this week. I was about to have something else happen that wasn't too good.
Should have left for the Tuamotus atolls yesterday. The boat was all ready to leave. As usual, I pulled up the first part of the anchor chain before starting the engine because it takes me so long to do, and the engine wouldn't start. After all the problems I had in the last few months and doing the engine and testing it over and over and over again for over a month here, running it here in the bay, the engine wouldn't start. A friend of mine, Christian, came over from his boat over there. He's a mechanic, and he and I still couldn't work out quite what was going on. So I'm going to replumb the engine again, start again, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. So missing this weather window. And I've been having a bad feeling about this since a few days ago. I knew something was going to happen, I just knew it. You get a feeling for these things, you know, so I'm just waiting for this bad juju to disappear, and then we'll get on with things and it'll be fine, really. Yeah, it's a sunny day. It's a sunny winter day. Good over there. That's a better view. Is it? I don't know. Oh. Apart from fresh fruit, I've pretty much stocked up entirely. The boat is poop. Hang on, tiny Shaddy!
It's raining.
I know. Apart from fresh fruit, baby. Yeah, fresh fruit was good, man. Am I looking cool this morning?